What's up, Darksiders? Welcome back to the Darcside casting couch. I'm David Viana.
What? I'm Matt Elias.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Darcside podcast, episode 38. What are we doing?
It's a casting couch, so it's like...
I know what a casting couch is.
All right, but if the first one to leave dead air on the mics today gets fucked hard afterward, and not in a good way.
Wait, by who?
We'll figure that out afterwards.
I see you trying to hurry up and not leave any dead air.
Exactly. It's a game. It's a good game.
I don't like it.
Well, you almost lost there.
All right. Go ahead.
But yeah, what's this episode?
We've got a Darkside movie review coming in hot on, what is it? Rob Zombie's Three from Hell, which is on a limited release right now. Isn't that right? Yeah,
by the time this podcast is out, it's going to be over. You're not going to be able to see it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
3 days only in theaters.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, it's interesting.
You saw the movie last night?
I did. Went to the premiere.
Okay.
Got a free poster from it.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was pretty nice.
Bring the poster?
I didn't.
Well, that's strike one.
Well, yeah. There was a sticker too. Didn't bring that.
All right. So go ahead and give us your thoughts on the movie. Did you take notes in the movie?
Mental notes. My memory is a notebook of wonder. So, yeah. But basically, I like the movie, and that's it. Move on next time.
How many out of 10 is that?
All right.
Did you come up with a score?
I'll come up with it as we go because I kind of have one in mind. But yeah, it's
all right.
If you don't know about this movie, it is the third installment to Rob Zombie's House of 1000 Corpses, The Devil's Reject series.
Mm-hmm.
It was, a lot of people were skeptical about it simply because if you've seen The Devil's Rejects, and I'm just going to spoil it for you because it's been out since 2005, so I don't really give a fuck. But at the end of the movie, they get shot the fuck up by police in like this epic like end scene battle, basically. And it really just ends with that, with like clips of them just getting shot up to hell. Like you see the bullets going in and everything. You would not expect anyone to survive this.
Right.
But they did. So...
Spoiler.
Well, it's not a spoiler.
I know.
You know they're alive.
I'm being facetious. You see it in every teaser.
Yeah. So it follows the after that, basically. Like it's kind of like the beginning, like the first 15 minutes or so of the movie is kind of like is set up as like news style, like journalism footage of like how of like what had happened after that whole scene, like how they survived. The trial that they have to go through, all that stuff. It gets a little bit into like what each character has to like.
Isn't that how the first movie started? Newsreel footage, the House of 1000 Corpses, or maybe it was Devil's Rejects.
No, fuck, which one was it? That was it wasn't the beginning of the Devil's Rejects. It was like
But they used that.
They used that whenever they were whenever they busted them and were going through their house.
That's right.
And, like,
it was
finding
like
all that stuff.
That's
yeah,
right. That's
it was just like,
in the middle of the movie.
Right. No,
Yeah.
it was the end. It was the beginning. It was like
the end, the beginning. What is it?
It was the beginning. It's like not like right at the beginning. It's about like 10, 15 minutes or so into the movie that happens.
It's like the setup.
Yeah, because that movie starts with like an epic gun battle and shit, and then just goes into that.
Yeah, that's right.
With them getting busted and a few of them escaping.
Okay.
But
go ahead.
What I liked, I personally, I love this movie. I'm a big Rob Zombie fan. I grew up watching Rob Zombie movies, so I mean, I already figured I was gonna like it, depending on how it goes and everything. But I kind of pretty much knew I was gonna enjoy it no matter what, and I did. So, basic. What else do I want? It's kind of hard, because I don't want to spoil anything. So I'm trying to find out ways to go about this. Okay, I'll go into it. The cast is really fucking good. He cast a lot of good people, a lot of because with him he reuses actors in every one of his movies basically. And there's always a few add-ons each movie. So some characters that he did in 31, his last movie, are playing characters in this one now basically.
Okay.
The one. See, I don't know if I really want to spoil. I don't know how to. Okay, basically, it's the three of them. It's called Three from Hell, basically, right? The three people are Otis Driftwood, the one main character from the first two.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, which is Rob Zombie's wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, her character. She was in the first two, and then there's a new addition, with their half brother who helps them along the way. Basically, he's like a newly written in character and everything.
Yeah.
Captain Spaulding is also in this, Sid Haig, but it's a very small part because Sid Haig is old as fuck now, dude. And it's like, it's very like, it's terrible to cause he with his scene in the movie and everything, he just looks really bad. And like, I honestly think it might be his last movie because like he's not looking good. And it was hard to even get him. I know, like, with the stories, it was hard to get him in this movie, too, because he's been having health problems and had to go through surgery and stuff, too. So he's not looking the best, and he can't really do as much as he could, like, back in the day. But they did still, in my opinion, I think he wanted to do it simply because Sid Haig is known as, like, a cult, like, hero, basically. Like, he's in a shit ton of B movies. He was in a lot of blaxploitation movies. He's in, like, little, like, cult roles. Like, he's in, like, Kill Bill Volume 2 with Tarantino and stuff, like, little things like that. He's well known for Captain Spaulding, like that whole routine, like that's his most well-known one, I think. Right. So I think for him to even be in this, it's like it's basically just for the fans, like to show love and support to the fans because he's really into that. Like he goes to Comic-Cons, like still a little bit. Like I don't know as much like this year, but the past few years, like he would go to like little conventions and stuff and dress up as Captain Spaulding because that's just who he was and like what he loved doing, dude. He was just like, he's really like about his fans and stuff. So of course he's in it and everything. And it's like, I love the little like dots and connections that they did from the Devil's Rejects to this. Cause there's some stuff in there, like there's some characters in there that you see like be revisited and stuff that you weren't expecting them to be in here and shit. And then, the story's really good. The only complaint I had about anything with it is it could have been a little bit more gruesome for me, but maybe that's just because I'm so desensitized with everything. It might just be like normal, but I mean there was some gruesome parts still and some great violence and like well done and everything.
Do you think that you wish it was more violent just because you're a degenerate, or probably, is it actually less violent than the last one?
It might be a little bit less violent than the last one, but like not much though. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I do like to see like because I like especially with
there was some pretty serious gore in the Devil's Rejects.
Yeah,
it's like some torture sequences and stuff.
There are some of those, but it's not as heavy as it was in that one basically. But it's still like gruesome. There's still definitely some gruesome parts. He added a little bit more comedy to this one too, which I liked. I really liked it. It was kind of like it made light of certain situations and it made a lot of people laugh in the theater. Because literally, dude, this theater was sold out last night. There was not one empty fucking seat in there, and there was 2 screens playing it in this theater. So like I think every single seat sold out in that. But
it's in theaters for 3 days. Do you know if it's gonna do another run? Or is this just it?
As far as I know, no. As far as I know, this is it.
Interesting. Like, why do you think that is? Do you know anything about that?
I don't. He was on Rogan yesterday, and I've only made it through a quarter of the episode, so I don't know if he
I haven't got to see it.
Touches it like on there and everything. But as far as I know, like, dude, he kept it so well under wraps that like I'm a movie fucking nerd, and I know a lot about movies. Like whenever I first go see them, I mainly know like the plot and what's gonna happen and everything already. But this one, it was like, the trailer doesn't even tell you anything. It's just like a bunch of little clips and it gives nothing away. Like that's like what I like.
Right. It wasn't much of a trailer. It's like a teaser, long teaser.
And I love that so much because like it was literally like there was no way of spoiling this. No one knew any information about it whatsoever. So
like the Breaking Bad movie.
Yeah. So all of us last night going into it, like had no idea what to expect. Like loved every fucking minute of it. Just like got you hooked from like the get-go basically. It was just it was a great fucking time. And I think like each night has its own gimmick. So like last night, I think it was like the first 50 people in the theater got a free poster and sticker and stuff.
So that's like how you got your poster.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tonight, I think, was tonight the 18th? No. Tomorrow night, the last night that it's running, they're doing a double feature. They're doing the Devil's Rejects and 3 from Hell back to back, basically.
Sweet.
So it's like a good refresher course, and then you go right into this new movie, basically. Yeah, the shots that he did, even like he added a little bit more of his artistic side to some of these shots and everything. It wasn't about just like the gore and the story and stuff. Like a lot of the shots he used, especially at the last end battle, are really fucking good. Like he used a lot of like dramatic effects in it and everything to make it to make you just be like, oh fuck yeah, like this is awesome and shit. So that's what I liked. He took a lot of like stuff like how he would do from Lords of Salem and put it into this a little bit. Like so it was, I liked that.
Rob Zombie's had a lot of movies under his belt since he made the Devil's Rejects. So I'm sure he's got some new tricks up his sleeve. I didn't see the Lords of Salem.
It's
or
good.
31.
That's his best movie. Like that's his best movie for sure. Yeah,
really.
Yeah, shot selection, story, everything. Like that is his best.
I haven't seen
movie.
it. I know the reviews are bad.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's. I'll check, but I'm certain that it's low.
See, that would make sense to just like a normal like person, but if you're like a Rob Zombie fan and like love like because I don't dislike any Rob Zombie movie. Basically, I love them all.
I'm not crazy about House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's just for what it is. It's good, but I'm not going to sit down and watch it repeatedly. Yeah. Devil's Rejects was really good. I would watch that again.
Yeah, that one is my favorite by him. The Devil's Rejects is like my favorite because that movie.
I liked his Halloween remake too.
Yeah, and a lot of people shit on that.
I didn't like it.
See, I like it. I was the same way for a while, but then like I rewatched it like 5 years ago or so, and I found a whole new appreciation for it basically. And a lot of people shit on his version of Halloween, including John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Simply because like everyone was like, oh, he put too much thought into like Michael Myers' like young life. You're not supposed to like dig into
Lords of Salem is 46%. So it's like half and half.
Okay.
Roger Ebert liked it. He gave it 3 out of 4.
Yeah. See, and they gave 3 from Hell 4 out of 4.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's like what got me and my roommate really interested in the first place because we weren't expecting that at all. The only time I think he's ever given anything a 4 out of 4 with Zombie was The Devil's Rejects. That got a 4 out of 4 too, basically. But
I'm reading here. Lords of Salem was the first film that Rob Zombie actually had full creative control since. Actually, it's the first one ever. It's the first one he had full creative control. It looks like.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he had it for House 1000 Corpses too, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it looks. That's what this is saying. This is from RogerEbert.com.
Okay.
From the review from Lords of Salem, which this is 6 year. This is a 6-year-old article.
Yeah.
It says that the Weinstein brothers drastically re-edited both of his Halloween movies against Rob Zombie's wishes.
That would make sense. He's kind of gotten fucked over with his movies for like a long time too.
Now that makes you want to see. Is there a director's cut?
There's an unrated version, I think, of the Halloween. Or wait, no. Or do you mean Lords of Salem?
I'm talking about Halloween because it says there's an uncut the Weinstein version. Brothers like hacked up his movies.
Yeah, I don't know then. I don't know if there would be because I never knew about that in all honesty.
Halloween 2, I didn't hate it, but it was like I just thought it was kind of a mess.
It's unique. It's very unique. That's what I liked about it with my rewatch.
Death scenes, the killing scenes in it were awesome.
Yeah.
Like you could feel the stabs. I saw that movie in theaters. Dude, like really well done.
That's the one thing that he has going for him, dude. He can make some creative fucking death scenes and like some really gruesome, gritty fucking deaths. Like that's like the best thing about his shit.
He's great for that.
And like, do you know his whole story about like how the whole controversy with House of 1000 Corpses?
No.
All right. Well,
Let's hear about it.
Well, they gave him like the get-go. It was originally from Universal that he was going to release this movie like out of, and Universal wasn't really a big horror like outlet. They did more like, more family oriented and shit like that. It wasn't at the time, it wasn't a big horror haven or anything. So he makes House 1000 Corpses. They do a test screening and everything. And immediately he knows it's bad because like the company calls him and is like, yeah, we have to talk tomorrow. Like after the first test screening that they had. And they were basically like, yeah, we're not releasing this. Universal completely, he was like, it was too extreme. And House of 1000 Corpses for the time, dude, back in the early 2000s, it was very extreme for its time.
It was pretty gory.
It was like gory. It was like it was like really fucked up. Like this whole family of like backwoods hillbilly redneck killers and shit.
That's why one of my issues with that movie is just that. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
it's like
Texas Chainsaw Massacre on acid,
rehash of
basically.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, and it's trippy.
Yeah,
but it's like it was gory, but it was intentionally like a retreading of that.
Yeah. So they said they won't release this movie. He says, fuck it. Okay, just give me the movie then. I've made it. Like, I put this much time into it anyway. Just let me have my movie. They give him the movie. They release all the rights to it. Lionsgate ends up buying it. And Lionsgate are like one of the kings of horrors, basically.
Right.
Besides Blumhouse Productions and everything. They released a lot of great horror movies throughout their time. Like, Saw came from Lionsgate. This came from Lionsgate. Like, Lionsgate does every single Rob Zombie movie, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if Hostel was through Lionsgate or not. I forget in all honesty. But Lionsgate was always like really good with horror and like really fucked up shit. So they grab it, but it's funny now. You know how like Universal Studios has like Halloween like haunts now, like through October and stuff. They do like horror nights and shit like that with different themes.
I didn't know that.
House of 1000 Corpses is like a theme there this year. They have like a House of 1000 Corpses based maze that you can go through and stuff.
But
there.
I thought if they released the rights, would they buy him back?
Well, because like they brought him back and was like gave him creative control to do this. And like he even
do this ride thing.
It's not a ride. It's like a maze. It's like a haunted maze sort of thing.
But Rob Zombie's involved in the maze.
Yeah, he made it and created it. Yeah,
that'd be interesting.
And it's like he even like said on Rogan, he was like, yeah, it's like funny being at Universal when it's like, yeah, you guys like ditched my movie like at the last second, but like now we're here making a thing. He was like, I don't mind. It's pretty cool, but it's just funny to me and everything.
Right.
And I thought the same thing because like, dude, that's what I always wanted, a haunted house based from Rob Zombie something. Like all these horror icons got to do it. Like, you know, Eli Roth got to do one in Vegas about like 5-6 years ago and everything.
I didn't know anything about that. That's interesting.
Yeah. It was like, I think it only lasted, I think it was only like a year or so that it was out, but I don't think it was supposed to go anything beyond that. Tom Savini had the one here in Menneson, I think it was at and everything, because he does the whole special
Demon
effects
House?
school.
Is that what it was called?
No, that Demon House is still around in Charleroi.
Oh, that's something different.
Yeah, it was Tom Savini was in the title, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I remember that Tom Savini had like a haunted house out there.
Yeah, but I always said growing up that like Rob Zombie would be like perfect to like make a haunted house. Like he would be like the best one to do it in all honesty with his mind and shit.
He seems like such a cool dude too.
He is. Like he just seems like a really like laid back and just like someone you can have like
earth,
like someone you can have. I would love to talk to him about film, dude, because like his film knowledge is crazy, especially like grindhouse cinema and stuff like that. Like insane knowledge of that shit. And you can tell through like his movies and stuff, because like all of his movies are based in like the 70s, like later times and shit. Basically, The Lords of Salem was based in modern time and everything. And I don't know when Halloween was supposed to be based out of. I think that was based in more modern times, and I'm not 100% sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
you mean the Halloween remake?
Yeah, I think it was based because like when
I don't know,
because when they showed Michael as a kid, it was like the 70s and stuff. But then it was like as the years grew, it was more of a modern time.
Are you actually going to give a score for 3 from Hell?
Yeah, I'll give a score for sure.
Okay, we're working our way there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and also Sherry Moon's performance in this is, I think it's one of her best.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's his wife, and he puts her in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't good in like, you know, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects.
I thought she was, especially in Devil's Rejects.
She was cheesy.
Well, yeah, it's
cheesy acting.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if she's secretly a really good actress and was being cheesy on purpose. That's possible.
I think it's more of the character of Baby, like, because she's kind of like.
That's not what I mean. Like, it just was cheesy acting.
Okay.
You know, and I thought that it fit because he was making like a B horror movie. And it was supposed to be kind of like that. You know, like Evil Dead or something.
But this one, like, she kind of like, because she's more like crazy in this one than anything, for like being in prison and stuff and being like isolated and everything. So like she had to bring that out in this character, and she does a really good fucking job, dude. Like it's impressive. Like, all right, with her being like
that's
as crazy
intriguing.
As she is. Yeah.
Is it still cheesy?
I don't think so.
The movie itself, is it still kind of like a B movie sort of? I mean, it's got to be.
It's like a B movie vibe and everything, but I don't think it's like that cheesy or anything like that.
But it's not too serious.
No. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. I wish I could see it again. Like, in all honesty, like I want to watch it again. Like, really bad.
I'm not going to be able to see it.
Yeah,
and well, until it
comes out. Yeah, but I just don't know how he's doing. Like how they're making the money with it, because he said he only released it like in 1,000 theaters, 3 nights, and that's it. And I only know of 2 theaters around here that it was being at. It was in Monroeville and Robinson. I went to the one in Monroeville, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know if they're gonna, because that's like it's just weird. Like I've never heard of someone doing this, like releasing like a movie like just for 3 days and it's gone then. Like I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but like I'd rated it about an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
8.5, 9 out of 10. Like in that range right there. Because, and I have a few ideas of what they're going to do, at least in my mind, what I want to see them do with this. Because basically, the ending is set up to where they could make another one if they want to. That's what I was unsure about. I wasn't unsure if this was going to be the last one of this series or what he's going to do. But the only way I feel like he could do this is by two ways. First, making a whole new series based on these people, like these three characters now. It has to be a whole new series because the Firefly family is basically like done. Like, it's not really like a thing anymore. Like there's like, it is what it is. Or the thing that I want is like an 8 to 10 episode series based on this.
Okay.
Simply because it gives them way more time to span out what could happen to these three. And then it could go into, because like me and Nicole were talking about this earlier this morning because she went and saw it with us last night too. She wants to see like a prequel on how they became the way that they are. Like how they became this murderous, like savage fucking family that just doesn't give a fuck, but like lives on the outside of society and has everything that they want. Like they don't need anything else. Like they have everything they need and want. So it's just, they live how they live. I agree with her too. I would love to see how this family was like brought up and got to the way that they are, how they became this savage group of fucking murderers.
And so that's your series.
Yeah, I would. And no, it's not just that. It's like it would be like done with flashback scenes to where it's like half prequel, half them in modern time, like ending it how they want to end it. Because like I really did think that this was going to be the last one of the series, but with how it ended, it's so open that it could anything could happen. Basically,
interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
a hard 8.5
and 9.
A soft 9.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Because
very cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by that. I mean, I knew you were gonna like it. Mm-hmm. Honestly, you were gonna like it even if it sucked.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like. Not really, because like I can like, cause like they're like I rank his movie. I haven't disliked the Rob Zombie movie, but they're like
what's your least favorite? Halloween 2.
It's either Halloween 2 or it might honestly be Halloween 2.
What are the other ones that come to mind?
31.
Okay.
I still like 31. I think it's a great concept and everything. I like the way he did it, but it could have been done a little bit better. I think. Could have been way more info given into certain things about that movie.
Okay.
But yeah, Halloween 2 is like, and I'm not hating on Halloween 2. It's just like it's a very unique chapter of that series and shit.
Yeah,
and
no
like
doubt.
Yeah, so
the whole thing is like a nightmare. So it's like a trip.
Yeah. But like my favorite like out of it is The Devil's Rejects. Like that's by far like my favorite. Like that has so much rewatch quality to it, and like the ending of that movie is fucking just perfect. Like it's one of the better movie endings I've ever seen, and that's saying something. Like a Rob Zombie movie, like based in, I think it was out of like 2005, is like one of my top 3 endings in a movie, basically, just because everything is so perfect about it.
It's
like
a good ending.
The use of Freebird, like I fucking hate Freebird, but like the way he used that is like, dude, it's like amazing. Like all the shots he used for that, and then just like the way it was like the drama of it, like they just pull up and then all of a sudden like you don't see it at first, but there's like a whole line of cop cars and it's just like,
yeah, they're like, but you know, the thing about The Devil's Rejects coming out when it did and what he was doing, the fact that nowadays an anti-hero is used more in movies and in like contemporary culture, pop culture, TV shows. I think there's probably more. When you flip through Netflix, there's more shows about anti-heroes than there are about heroes.
I agree.
For the most part.
Yes.
And like,
I think
you got Breaking Bad, you got Sons of Anarchy, you've got Mad Men, even Mad Men, Don Draper's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
You've got just all these shows. Yeah. Like Peaky Blinders.
I don't watch that one,
Sopranos.
Yeah, Sopranos.
Oz. Just like all of these shows that are Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
So many. And that it's kind of like almost overdone now. It's like cliche at this point. It wasn't in 2005.
Right. And I think that's like
a lot of people had a lot of people were disturbed by the Devil's Rejects because he kind of like glorified these like psychos, you know.
And that was even the way of House 1000 Corpses, because at the end they always win. And I think that's what another reason why he said Universal like took it out, because no one is used to seeing like the bad guy win shit. Like no good people win in that movie. He's never has good people win in his
Everybody
movie.
just dies in
And I thought about, and I was thinking about that too this morning, because it's like, you really, like, if you're a big fan of that series, you sympathize, like, you want that family to, like, survive and, like, make it through and win.
Right.
And it's like, and they're the most brutal people. Like, they kill, like, people for fun. They do these satanic rituals all the time. They rape women for fun and all this shit. But you still want them to win. Like, you do not want to see them lose for some reason. Right. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like the Firefly family mentality. Like, they're just, like, these group of fucking, like, just backwoods hick like fucking.
If you're a fan, if you like the movies, If you don't, and you just look at it for what it is, I see why people don't like it.
Well, if you're not a fan, you're not going to watch any of them.
I'm saying if you're watching it and you aren't like sympathetic to Rob Zombie, and you aren't like, there's not a lot in those movies to like earn. That I could see having an issue with it. To earn actually sympathy, like in Breaking Bad, how. Like the whole magic of that series is that, you know, obviously like Walt by the end of the series is just this unlikable, despicable human being who just does the worst things you can think of. But
I always found a way to defend him though.
Everyone does. And that's the magic of the show. Because you came along with him and it just did all this development to earn it. Wherein the Devil's Rejects and in this new one and in House of 1000 Corpses is just like plop, there they are.
Mm-hmm.
So you like it because there's a cult. You like him because, I'm sorry, you are pulling for these anti-heroes, kind of just because.
Yeah.
You kind of have to like be ready to do that before the movie starts.
And I think that's.
And if you're a critic who's not going to be like sensitive to that, you're looking at it in a more traditional way, I could see why you don't like it.
Right. And I think that's.
If you just watch that in a vacuum, then it just seems like a mess. It's just like, why, like, you know what I mean?
No,
That's probably what Universal was thinking. Because I'm trying to put myself in their shoes.
Yeah.
Like, especially back then.
Yeah.
With House of 1000 Corpses, they're not going to put a bunch of money into releasing this. Because like, people aren't going to know what to do with this.
Right. But I mean, they gave them a bunch of money to make it.
Well, I guess.
I mean,
now, makes you wonder, like, was the script changed somewhere along the lines? Because they had to have known how it ended.
See, I don't think, because I even think, like, he said that they gave him money to reshoot the ending and stuff like that to make it, like, better or whatever. And he was like, okay, so he rewrote the ending a little bit and, like, made it how it was. But then, like, once they saw it, it was like they wanted nothing to fucking do with it. Which is, like, I thought that was really weird, too.
Maybe they were just kind of half-ass committed to it, trying to ride on Rob Zombie, who had some profile as a musician.
Well, I think even so, like, I think he said when he had a meeting with them, like, he was just pitching this idea to them, like, half-assed. Like, he said he was, like, when he was pitching it, he was making it up as he was going. And, like, they said they basically, like, gave him, like, free go right there. And he was just like, okay. Like, he was just like, whatever. But, I mean, like, that's just too, like, he's a dark fucking individual, man. Like,
he's like a horror freak.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you listen to his music, it's all horror-based.
Yeah. And it was like
I like his music.
I love his music. I grew up like listening to his music and stuff. And he even said about his
White
music.
Zombie.
He even said like whenever like White Zombie and them were coming around, like he's not like he's not new to critics or anything, because he said when White Zombie came out, he was reading like reviews saying it's like they were the worst band ever made and shit like that. It was just like he's been used to that.
That's a little bit dramatic.
Yeah, but like we said, it's like that time of the '80s where like no one was really doing what they were doing and stuff.
It was very against the grain.
Yeah, it didn't really catch on for a lot of people until like the late '80s, early '90s and shit. So I mean, like. He's not like it's not a mystery for him to like take bad criticism and everything. So especially when like Halloween came out, he got all those mixed reviews. I'm sure the strongest, the worst one that he probably had to deal with was like John Carpenter not liking his movie, because that's like a horror like hero for him. Like that's really the only reason why he remade it is because like that's his favorite horror movie ever, and he just saw it in a whole new light.
And I would say that. Like, I could play devil's advocate with John Carpenter on that because, and I think the case that John Carpenter had laid out for why he didn't like Rob Zombie's Halloween was that the whole essence of the character Mike Myers and the movie Halloween that John Carpenter made was that Mike Myers is like this mysterious and unknowable, just kind of like unknown
like force,
unstoppable force. Yeah, he's a killer. We don't really know why. He's obviously crazy, and you do hear little rumors and stuff in the movie. They talk about how he killed his sister or something.
No, yeah, you see it in the beginning of the movie, like him killing his sister.
They do show
and stuff.
him.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I mean, like,
yeah, but they don't. What they don't do is explain why. We don't know why. We just know that he is what he is.
But they don't really explain why he doesn't really explain why in Rob Zombie's version either.
Wasn't it? Didn't they like hint that it had something to do with like his mother and being a stripper and all this background stuff?
Not really, because like it was like yeah, he dealt with bullying and shit from like kids knowing his mom was a stripper and stuff.
Okay,
like
yeah.
His stepdad was a fucking piece of shit who hated him and all this shit. So he had like angst and everything. He was killing like animals and stuff.
Well, that
when
right
he
there
was a kid
provides like the background as to why he would. Where you don't get that in the original movie. It's
but
just,
it's like,
you know, he was a kid and you know he did this and that's it.
But it's not like, it doesn't explain like what went through. Like it was like all of a sudden like he just it's like he turned into a different person basically. And they kind of hinted that like whenever he's a kid and like in the remake and he's in the psych ward and he like asks his mom like how like his sister is doing and all this shit, and like his mom doesn't really know how to answer it because like she's like, oh, you don't know what you did and shit. So it's like it's kind of like that, like there's something in his brain just
again, that
clicked.
right there is more information. You know that he doesn't remember it. You know that like, so like that kind of background stuff you don't get in the original one. Mm-hmm. John Carpenter, and I can imagine if I'm John Carpenter and I made that movie, and the thing to me that made that the whole thing work and be scary was that I don't know why. I don't know why. Then if you make a movie that spends a good amount of time explaining, you know, because a lot of that movie was background, the remake. Mm-hmm. I mean, like from what I recall, yeah, it was a good bit of screen time on that.
Yeah,
you're kind of like deflating the whole concept in a way.
No, I understand that.
Having said that, I don't know if I entirely agree with John Carpenter. Like, it wasn't all that bad. Like, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Like you say, it's a reimagining.
Right.
It doesn't claim to be this is a remake.
Right.
Which Rob Zombie would never do.
Right.
It would be stupid to just redo somebody's movie.
The thing that makes me upset, like with that whole John Carpenter thing, is too like, okay, like John Carpenter, like he obviously like told like Rob he can do it with Halloween and everything, and then like just trashed it after it was released and stuff.
Well, he just gave his opinion. I mean, I don't think he has to pretend to like it if he didn't like it.
Well, yeah, but then this new one comes out that was just released like the past year or two.
Yeah, that's a sequel.
Yeah, technically it's a sequel and shit, right? It's in its own
I was going to ask you
world.
about this.
But he was involved with that one, like did the new music for it and everything John Carpenter did. But what pisses me off about that, like it was only supposed to be this one fucking movie. Like it was in its own universe where like none of the other Halloweens ever existed except the first one.
Yeah,
and it was the sequel to that. Now they're making they're making two new movies based off of this.
Are they?
Yeah, so that's
Is
pissing
Carpenter
me off
involved
right
in
there.
It?
Well, I don't know if he's involved with it, but it's the same people doing it.
The first one obviously must have did okay in theaters, and that's why they're doing it.
Well, no,
I
did,
really liked that Halloween scene. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did, and I like it too.
I liked
but
it a
it's
lot.
like, how the fuck are you gonna do that? Like, if you saw the ending for it, it's like it's
Michael
supposed
Myers
to have end. Like he blew up.
Right.
Like that's it. But like how? Like I don't understand what they're gonna do. So we're gonna have to deal with more bad sequels probably to this franchise that already has so many bad sequels under its belt already.
Yeah.
But some of the bad sequels are good and like they have like a great cult following
like
and everything.
Good bad, yeah.
Yeah, like the sixth one, it has a big cult following, but it's like really bad at the same time.
So what's Halloween 6?
Yeah.
What's the title of that? I'm gonna pull out the
fuck. That's the one with like it's like a cult sort of thing too, like the cult like that follows like Michael Myers. And
I know there was
that.
I think Halloween 3 actually
Season
had
of the Witch.
nothing to do with Michael Myers. Right?
Yeah, that had, like he was not involved in it whatsoever. But that one gets a lot of praise by fans.
No, I didn't know this. You're telling me something new that there's Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers.
Yes,
it has a, just so we know, 6% on the tomato meter.
Yes.
Okay. But it has a cult following, you're saying. No, I didn't know this.
But there's a catch with this.
Paul Rudd plays it.
Yes, he stars in that. There's a catch with this, though. The when it was originally released, like the original one, it was completely different from what they planned on releasing. Now they released, with like Blu-ray and everything, they released the producer's cut, which is how it's supposed to be seen. Like
so
how they originally
it was one of those things
where
it was like edited beyond recognition after.
And then they were able to release what they really wanted to release like years and years later. And I have that one, and it's actually good. I like it a lot. Yeah, like the producer's cut. I have it on Blu-ray, and I really like it. Like it is
Donald
what it
Pleasance,
is.
That was his final.
Yeah, that's his last one that he's in.
First starring role by Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting.
Yeah,
because I didn't know that this had a cult following like that.
Yeah, it has. That one has a huge cult following.
Huh. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
It says it was released 6 years after the previous film.
Yes.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
They were pumping movies out in the 90s. Like
a lot.
Sequels. Miramax put it out.
Yes.
You got me. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it's
Let
good.
me borrow that Blu-ray.
Okay. I'll bring it over next time.
All right.
It's, but yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the other Halloween sequel, the other Halloween 2 that ignores all the sequels.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
No, I did too.
It was really good.
It was good. And especially it was written like by Danny McBride and like David Gordon Green and all this shit.
Isn't that interesting?
It's weird. Like,
a lot of
really
these comedy people like really like horror.
Yeah.
Because we talked about this before. Comedians are dark motherfuckers. Usually.
Yeah. And that's what that's what got me interested in the most at the beginning was when I heard that they were involved, like they were the writers for it. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like they're doing this. Like this is their thing.
Yeah.
Like it just threw me completely. But
and John Carpenter, like you said, was involved in it.
Yes.
He didn't direct it or anything.
No, he was a producer.
He did the music and the music it slapped.
It was good. I mean, he's a good musician. I'm not gonna like hate him for that. He's good at what he does. It's more electric too, which is kind of weird. But yeah. The Halloween legacy.
The legacy.
Literally over 30 years in the making. It's probably over 40. I'd say 40 now. Because I think the first one came out in the
78?
Late 70s. Yeah, 76 or 78. 78. Yep.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
41 years.
So the new Devil's Rejects, 3 from Hell. It's an 8.5 on the Darcside Dave-O-meter.
Easily.
All right. So you recommend it?
I recommend it. Yeah, see it any way you possibly can. If you're a fan of the series, you're gonna love it. It's just it is how it is. Like if you're like that dedicated to the series, like I've been like
I'm like a casual fan. I like Devil's Rejects. I'm not crazy about House of a Thousand Corpses.
See, I have a tattoo of all this shit, so I mean, like, I'm a pretty like diehard fan. I've been watching like this shit since I was like I think House of 1,000 Corpses came out like when I was in 4th or 5th grade, and I saw it like that year. This was a
formative force in the mind of young Darkside Dave.
It really was.
A lot of things are coming into focus, making sense for people.
Well, dude, when I first saw the Devil's Rejects, I watched that movie like so many fucking times. I rewatched it so many times. Like
I didn't know if I was the only one that did that with movies when I was like, a youngster.
No,
I watched them like a million times.
No, dude.
What movies did you watch repeatedly?
When I was like really young?
Yeah.
Any Adam Sandler movie.
Okay,
Dumb and Dumber had a lot of rewatch value for me.
Yeah. I watched American Pie a bunch of times.
Yeah, that was one. That whole series I really loved.
I watched Fight Club over and over.
Junior high, that was me. Fight
Blow
Club
over and over.
Another one. Yeah. Another one that I've watched. Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Like all like the Halloweens, the Jason, like Voorhees, like all that. I've been watching those since I was like in kindergarten or so. Scream was another one that I grew up with.
Scream is legitimately a good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. They have. I'm trying to get through the TV series.
Is it good?
Now. It's not bad, in all honesty. I remember.
I know they can't use the mask or something. They couldn't get the rights to the normal mask.
Yeah, it's a different mask and everything. But it's like it's weird. MTV did the first 2 seasons, and it was done after that. But now Netflix picked it up. And they just released the 3rd season, like through Netflix.
Have you gotten that far? Or you're not there yet?
No, I watched the first season years and years ago, but I never finished it for some reason. I just put it down and never picked it back up. So I'm rewatching that right now just to like get familiar with it again. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I like it. It's not like bad. I mean, it's kind of cheesy and stuff because I mean it was like MTV who made it and shit. Like kind of like a teen
It's like PG rated kind of.
PG-13.
Is it for high school girls, basically?
A little bit, yeah. But at the same time, I don't mind it. If you're a horror fan in the movies, you'll like the series probably.
Yeah, I am a horror fan. Let me ask you a question. Do you remember when we did the most effed up film competition.
Yeah.
Have you rewatched, and there's pretty much zero chance that you have you rewatched any of those movies since we did that?
No. They don't have a lot of rewatch value to them in the first place.
Yeah, you kind of got to be
in a mood.
And
I don't even know what mood that would be in to want to watch any of those again. And like most of those are movies like you see them like
you see it
once or twice and you're good. Solo is like one that you probably have to watch like twice to kind of get the whole like message from it. But like Irreversible, can watch it one, be done. You know what's going on. Serbian film, literally. You can watch that once and be completely okay with never watching it again
for the rest of your existence.
Yeah, you know what happened and why it happened and everything.
There's just thinking about that because like as horror, you're a horror fan, so am I.
Yeah,
I really like horror movies. Yeah. I like good ones. I'm not a fan too much of like B horror movies. For the most part, I do like The Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and all that. I don't really like slasher movies too much.
Okay,
I like Halloween. I don't really like the. How they degenerated in the 80s and they just became like parodies of themselves.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about those ones.
I like
they aren't that good of movies. They were just kind of trying to get teenagers into movie theaters.
Yeah, basically. I just like the cheesiness and shit of a lot of them though.
Right.
That's my thing. I'm
that's
like
a whole other
head,
but that's a whole other element to it.
Yeah.
Like the cheesy movies, B movies, like the schlock.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
You ever watch The Burning?
No.
It's like an 80s slasher movie, but it's really fucking good. Mm-hmm. Like I love it. It's like one of my favorite 80s slasher movies. Like Jason Alexander's in it and shit. Like George Costanza's in this and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's really
I like
from the
it.
80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like Terrifier? Have you seen it?
The Art the Clown?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
Me too.
I love that movie.
No, I like that. Now Terrifier is a modern movie, but it is basically like they made an 80s slasher exploitation kind of but it's really grimy.
Oh yeah.
There's
some great death scenes in it too.
Really good death scenes.
Love it.
Yeah.
And there's some like just what the fuck moments in that movie too. Especially like when he's like naked and like has like all like he cuts off the woman's like tits and is like wearing them and shit and like doing the whole like weird walk and everything. I'm like, I was watching that and I'm like, what's going on? I think I actually fell asleep to that movie one time and woke up to that part and I was like, nope. I was like, nope.
Yeah. So if you hear that and that makes you want to watch the movie, then you're certified.
I'm watch that again.
I'd like to see it. They're making a sequel. They're making another one.
Really?
Yeah. I saw
that's like
the actor in the Art the Clown makeup. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I saw a picture, like a BTS picture of it.
Well, like Art the Clown's been around for a couple different movies. Mm-hmm. He was in All Hallows Eve, the one that was before Terrifier.
Yeah, but there was a short film that he was in.
Yes, yeah. Well, that movie, All Hallows Eve, was like one of those movies where it was like 3 short films into one,
right?
And he just ended up.
But there wasn't
like,
even before that. There was like a really like short 10-minute little. I don't even know what you would call that. It's like a 10-minute short.
Yeah,
that he was in.
Okay, and that was the birth of Art the Clown.
I think it was. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I didn't see that one.
It's good. I forget what it's called, but I'm sure you can Google it. Find it.
I need to find that.
It's like 10 minutes. It introduces the character. It's like this. Anyway, it's 10 minutes. You can watch it.
I think I actually want my next tattoo to be Art the Clown related. I was thinking about that.
Art
the other
the Clown
day.
is I'm a fan.
Great.
He said, having said, I don't really like the actual cheesy Friday the 13th movies and stuff from the. Friday the 13th was almost even the first one was already in that like parody of movies like Halloween.
It is 100%.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even maybe less so that one.
Yeah,
but
no, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like it's
its own thing.
Yeah, it's in its own realm.
That's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah,
the first one.
Even
people didn't know what the hell to do when that movie came out.
Even the shitty sequels are like so entertaining and shit. Like the second one with
I
Dustin Hoffman.
I don't really like those.
And stuff like, I love them. Yeah. The one has Matthew McConaughey in it.
And
it's like weird. It's really weird. The one Leatherface is a transvestite. And shit, like crazy shit, man.
Again, I don't use
the right word
for whatever reason. Yeah,
okay.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't know.
You dress up like a woman.
Yeah,
transvestite.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I don't really like the cheesy self-parody sort of horror movies for the most part.
Yeah.
Now, Terrifier kind of is one of those movies, but it's like dead serious. And it's like disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, it's just like I love the death scenes in that movie.
They're really good.
They're fucking
really good.
they take it to another level.
Like right in the beginning, where he turns that guy's face into a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, the sawing and like when he saws that, it's so good. I was like, fuck. Like watching that, I was like,
And
my
the
jaw
makeup,
dropped.
the makeup and stuff is really, really well done.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the special
that's a
effects
low budget
really
film, and they're doing that
very,
like themselves. I think like the director does, the guy who makes the movie does the Art the Clown makeup.
Okay,
on the actor.
That's legit.
Which is cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I was interested because I could see that it was so low budget, so I wanted to check out who was doing it and stuff. But it's really awesome.
Dude, even like the part where he pulls out like a gun and shit, because like a lot of people don't like that when murderers use guns and shit. I was just like,
he just does it.
I was like, dude, that's hardcore. Like, because he doesn't really he only uses it like one time. And
but he shoots her in the face like 15 million times.
Yeah.
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 But
very gruesome.
If you're gonna do it, that's how you do it.
Basically.
But anyway, yeah, that's the so we did the 3 from Hell review.
Yes.
We did a little Rob Zombie movie and somewhat music exploration.
Yeah.
Horror nerd conversation.
Yeah.
That's gonna do it for the Darcside podcast this week.
Yeah, I think we're good. And we really didn't have any dead air time, so neither of us get fucked today. So it's
Yikes.
like, yay.
Yikes.
Round of applause.
Yes. And we didn't have to talk about Donald Trump. You know why? Because we decided not to.
Yeah.
And we're still not going to.
I was going to say, you kind of brought him up, so technically we did just kind of talk about him, but...
Yeah. But that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's it for this week's episode.
Yeah. Follow all the good stuff, social media,
at
you already know.
Darcside Podcast.
Yeah, don't think there's anything else.
That's it.
I'm David Viano.
I'm Matt Elias.
Later.
Late.